Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Not RV. On this week's episode, I'm going to be replacing my hot water tank with a tankless hot water heater. Let's get right to it. Remember, if you want to learn more and make less mistakes while RVing, be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like and a comment down below. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because my water tank actually failed. I came home from a trip the other day and I heard the pump turn on and off without anything happening, and I started checking. Boom, found that the back of the water heater tank had a very, very small crack in the weld, which was causing it to just have this slow little drip leak out. Now, obviously, once I saw that, I knew to myself, if I wasn't in the RV and, the water pump was still off, but that tank was full of water, it would slowly drip and drain about halfway down. So 3, 4, 5 gallons is going to go onto my RV floor. So that gave me enough motivation to go ahead and say, you know what, it's time. I'm going to go ahead and try and switch to a tankless water heater. Even though I've always said to myself, I'm probably not going to do tankless because I like having a tank where the temperature is all the way on and the tank is full, and just go with it. But you know what? I figured I would just give it a try. Everyone's trying them out. So this is just the install video. I'm going to come back at you with a review video of this product as I'm actually using it. Let's get right to the install. All right, so step one that I'm going to go ahead and do to remove the water heater is turn off the water and turn off the propane and drain all that so I can disconnect my propane and disconnect my water on the inside. Now, the reason I'm replacing my water heater is because I found out that I was having a leak, and none other than this weld right here, which is the hot side coming back out. You can see where it's kind of tainted it over some time. It had a very small leak going on there. So that is why I'm replacing this tank. I could probably just get that aluminum weld repaired by someone, but I just wanted to go ahead and take this time to upgrade to a tankless system. All right, I'm also going to go ahead and take my time right now while I'm down here to disconnect my electrical. It's just these wires right here. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to snip these for now and worry about cleaning up the new stuff later. All right, with my gas line just turned off, and I went ahead and used my propane burners on the inside to drain out any excess pressure. I am going to go ahead and now take this fitting off so my gas is disconnected. All right, that line is disconnected. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove all of my screws that hold the framing and whatnot of this thing together. All right, so now with the old water heater removed, again, I got my gas line just hanging out here, I got my water lines to the side. I'm probably going to redo my water lines, but first things I want to do is I want to kind of dry fit the new water heater up and in, figure out what I want to do, because I do have an Airstream. It is an angle right there. I want to figure out what I want to do with this trim, if I need to shift it or how I need to work that, but that's just me personally. Again, so I'm going to go ahead and dry fit and figure out what I got to do. All right, so I went ahead and removed all the old sealing tape, this real thick silicone-like goopy stuff. I went ahead and I added blocking on the inside, both up and on the side. I got the water heater mounted all the way to the side. I got it mounted top side and bottom. I can't do anything on this side unless I build an extra frame, but there's no real reason to. It's secured on 3 sides. So next I'm going to go ahead and take the new sealant tape and prep the surface here. Okay, and again, I'm going to put a link in the description below to where you can buy all these materials. But now with this tape still on the back of this, we want to go ahead and make sure that this is nice and pressed and sealed. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do next, but I got to set my phone down, is I'm going to peel all that tape off. I'm going to get my cover in place and start to screw it in. Now with the door on, again, I just secured it everywhere I could that was actually hitting either metal or wood. Like these holes down here, there's absolutely nothing behind it, so I didn't secure it back there, but I did do it up here to get it down and in. Here I got it on the metal, up top. So now we're gonna go ahead and get our Sikaflex, which is for Airstream, but you just get your RV, whatever your RV recommendation is for your caulking, and go ahead and caulk the top and the 2 sides is what I like to do. All right, so let me tell you real quick about my wiring and what I did, okay? So the white wire is your negative wire in this case. Black wire is positive, and then these two blue wires are your signal wires for the controller. These are not polarity sensitive. They can be either direction, does not matter. So I took my existing wires that were already here, which in my case was a white with a black stripe, which happens to be my positive, well, a positive I should say. An orange with a black stripe, which is also a version of a positive. The orange and the white, the orange and the black with the white stripe, the white with the black stripe, are the original switches from, one's for gas, one's for electric on a switch on a regular water heater. So what I did is I reused it, and I just wired my white with a black wire, or white with a black stripe, to just be on. No more switch. I got rid of the switch. So that is my 12 volt positive, 12 volt negative, bada bing, bada boom. Then I took these two wires and I connected them to the blue and the orange, because these are the other two wires that go to the pre-existing switch. So the pre-existing switch did sit right here, and it had gas, it had the error light, and it had electric. So it had, two different switches and the error light. Okay, so what I did is that error light, which was the blue wire with the black stripe, and the electric, which was the orange with the black, I went ahead and used those as the signal wires for the back of this, okay, because it has two wires. They're not polarity sensitive again, and that is what's basically giving me the signal from this down to there is those two wires. And again, I just took the other wire, which was the white with the black stripe, and I just got rid of this switch, hardwired it to the positive that was back behind the switch, and sent it down the line. So what I'm going to work on next is my cold inlet and the hot outlet from the Instant Hot. Okay, so again, in and out, cold. White is our cold, it is our in, and of course red is the hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse the pre-existing fittings that were on my old one, like this little setup here, for the hot side, and then the same thing for the cold side. I'm going to go ahead and get my plumbing taken care of. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, so let me walk you through the plumbing I did. Now I have this little paper towel here just to watch for drips, make sure I don't get anything dripping on there. So far I don't see anything visual, but again, my pre-existing cold line was here, so I put a couple 90s in, and then a swivel with a ball valve, so I can shut that off if I want to. Then again, I use my pre-existing fitting that already has a shut off in there for feeding the water tank, and then the bypass that goes up here. We have the hot water valve, again the pre-existing situation, and I just put a little 90 here and a 90 here, and that's really it. I use Megalock pipe thread sealant on those. Pretty good. I don't see any drips, any leaks. Again, I'm going to wash this for a little bit. I'm going to keep this paper towel here and make sure I'm getting no drips or anything like that. So out here at the unit, I just wanted to point out to you guys the on-off switch right here. Okay, so because I didn't put a switch in line and I always have power to this switch of course has to be on for anybody, but this is my only way of turning this physically off, other than the remote telling it that it's off. Like right now I have the remote telling it that it's off, but this is still on, which basically gives power to the remote, lets me turn it on and off from inside without needing a switch power. But again, just reiterate, this has to be on, period. This is like the dead, fail-safe switch. This has to be on in order for the unit to work. Now with it all on and set up and outside at the water heater, I have the switch flipped to on. I can come in here, and again, right now the water heater is off. I can press the power button, turn it on. I can set my temperature. I can change from Fahrenheit to Celsius, and again I can turn it back off. And because I'm not using the RV right now, I'm going to keep it off. All right, I just want to go ahead and show you guys real quick how this works now. So again, water heater is on, set to 120. It shows the actual water temperature actively being 77. I'm going to go ahead and turn my sink on, just full hot blast. You can see that it automatically has detected that water is going, and now it immediately is heating up. So we're going to go up in temperature pretty quick. Flame was ignited, and just like that, I mean, I'm at nice hot water there. Seconds. I can't tell you how many times in 5 years of RVing that I've gone somewhere and forgot to turn the water heater on because I, didn't want to use up energy because I was boondocking, or whatever the reason is, I didn't turn the water heater on. Happens all the time. And then all of a sudden I go to take a shower and I remember, oh crap, water heater's not on. Now I gotta wait 20-30 minutes before it heats up. But now instant. Couple seconds, it's hot, doesn't waste any energy at all. All right, everyone, so in summary, very simple project to do, especially if you're actually just replacing a water heater for a water heater. You get the same model that already fits your RV. Now with what I did, doing a completely custom thing, you saw, doesn't fit the same size hole. It's a totally different setup. I had to do a little bit more custom work in there. Even so, it is very, very simple. It's all very basic stuff. Key things to keep in mind is, of course, immediately drain your propane, drain your water in your RV at the low points, get rid of all that. If you want to go ahead and disconnect the battery because you're not comfortable with electrical, you can do that as well. And then again, you snip your wires, you remove the gas line, you remove the water line, you unscrew everything, you take it out, you put the new one in, you reconnect your water lines, reconnect your gas lines, reconnect your electric lines, and then you turn everything back on. It's a very simple process. Again, going to the tankless situation is a little bit different, again, in terms of exact size, exact fitment, door. But again, you can see that the Airstream curves out at the bottom, whereas most RVs are just perfectly flat, straight up and down, whereas the curve of the Airstream made it just a little bit more difficult. So I did not follow directions specifically according to the manufacturer and stuff like that, because I wanted the water heater to sit inside flat and level, but the door outside to fit nice and snug with the side of the RV. That's it for this week's video. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, turn the notification bell on. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Why Not RV. Bye.